Most of us have been told that the secret to living a long, healthy life is all about exercise. We've been bombarded with messages that we need to hit the gym, run marathons, or push our bodies to the limit. But what if I told you that the real secret to longevity isn't about how much you sweat or how many miles you run? What if the key to living to 100, or even beyond, lies in something far simpler, something that doesn't require a gym membership or a personal trainer? Today, we're diving deep into the lives of those who've not only reached the age of 100, but have done so with vitality, joy, and purpose. These individuals, often referred to as centenarians, have shared their secrets, and it's not what you might expect. It's not about extreme diets or grueling workouts. It's about how they live their daily lives, how they connect with others, how they eat, how they manage stress, and how they find meaning in every single day. So, if you're ready to uncover the real secrets to a long, fulfilling life, keep watching. By the end of this video, you'll have a clear understanding of what it takes to not just live longer, but to live better. And trust me, some of these habits might surprise you. They don't require you to become a fitness fanatic or give up the foods you love. Instead, they're about making small, sustainable changes that can have a profound impact on your health and happiness. Let's begin with the first habit, one that's often overlooked but is incredibly powerful: the strength of your social connections. 1. Prioritizing strong social connections. Imagine this. You're sitting in a cozy living room, surrounded by friends and family. The room is filled with laughter, stories, and the warmth of human connection. Now, imagine the opposite. You're alone, isolated, with no one to share your thoughts or experiences with. Which scenario do you think leads to a longer, healthier life? The answer might seem obvious, but it's backed by science. Research has consistently shown that people with strong, meaningful relationships tend to live longer than those who are isolated. It's not just about having a lot of friends or being popular. It's about having deep, emotionally supportive bonds with the people around you, whether that's family, friends, or your community. Let me tell you about Margaret, an 82-year-old woman who lives in a small town in Ireland. Margaret was always a social butterfly, known for her infectious laugh and her ability to make friends wherever she went. But after her husband passed away, she found herself retreating into isolation. She stopped going to community events, avoided social gatherings, and spent most of her days alone in her house. At first, Margaret thought this was just part of getting older. She assumed that it was normal to feel more tired, less interested in socializing, and more content with solitude. But over time, she started to notice changes in her health. She felt more fatigued, her blood pressure began to rise, and she even started to experience bouts of depression. One day, a neighbor knocked on her door and invited her to join a local knitting group. Margaret was hesitant at first. She hadn't knitted in years, but she decided to give it a try. That small decision changed everything. Within weeks, Margaret found herself looking forward to the weekly meetings. She reconnected with old friends, made new ones, and even started hosting knitting sessions at her own house. The impact on her health was remarkable. Her energy levels improved, her blood pressure stabilized, and she felt a renewed sense of purpose. Margaret's story isn't unique. Studies have shown that people with strong social ties have a 50% higher chance of living longer compared to those who are socially isolated. Loneliness, on the other hand, has been linked to the same level of risk as smoking or obesity. So what's the takeaway here? It's simple. Human connection is vital for longevity. Whether it's through family, friends, or community, finding ways to stay engaged with others can make all the difference in not only how long you live, but how well you live. 2. Eating in moderation and following a natural diet. Now let's talk about food. When it comes to longevity, many people assume that the key is to follow a strict diet, cutting out carbs, counting every calorie, or eliminating entire food groups. But the truth is far simpler. Centenarians across the world don't necessarily follow rigid diets. Instead, they eat mindfully, choosing fresh, unprocessed foods, and often stop eating before they feel completely full. One of the most fascinating patterns seen in long-lived populations is something called the 80% rule. This is a habit practiced in regions like Okinawa, Japan, where people stop eating when they feel about 80% full. This small change allows the digestive system to function efficiently without overloading the body with excess calories. Overeating, on the other hand, forces the body to work harder, leading to inflammation and an increased risk of diseases like diabetes and heart disease. Let me introduce you to Thomas, an 85-year-old man from Greece. Thomas had spent most of his life eating large, hearty meals. He loved his food and rarely left anything on his plate. But as he got older, he started to notice that he felt sluggish after meals, and his digestion wasn't what it used to be. One day, his daughter, who had studied nutrition, suggested that he try eating smaller portions and stopping before he felt completely full. At first, Thomas was skeptical. He didn't want to give up the foods he loved or feel hungry all the time, but he decided to give it a try. He started by serving himself slightly smaller portions and focusing on eating more vegetables and whole grains. The results were surprising. Within weeks, Thomas felt lighter, had more energy, and even noticed improvements in his digestion. He didn't feel deprived. He simply felt better. And the best part? He could still enjoy his favorite foods, just in moderation. The quality of food also plays a major role in longevity. Most centenarians don't rely on heavily processed foods or artificial ingredients. Instead, their diets are filled with fresh vegetables, fruits, whole grains, nuts, and healthy fats. Many of them also consume plant-based proteins with small amounts of fish or lean meats. It's not about eliminating certain foods entirely, but about choosing natural, nutrient-dense options as a foundation of every meal. Another key factor is meal timing. Many centenarians eat their largest meals earlier in the day, allowing the body to properly digest and rest at night. Late-night eating has been linked to metabolic issues, weight gain, and poor sleep, all of which can accelerate aging. In contrast, those who eat their final meal earlier in the evening and allow their bodies time to fast overnight tend to have better digestion, more stable energy levels, and healthier aging overall. But perhaps the most overlooked aspect of eating for longevity is the social and emotional connection to food. Many long-lived cultures emphasize eating together, sharing meals with loved ones, and treating food as something to be enjoyed rather than rushed. This practice not only strengthens relationships, but also helps regulate portion sizes and encourages slower, more mindful eating, both of which contribute to better digestion and overall well-being. So, if you're looking to extend your life, the goal isn't to adopt a strict diet or deprive yourself of the foods you love. Instead, focus on moderation, choosing whole foods over processed ones, and paying attention to how much and when you eat. Small, sustainable changes can have a profound impact on your long-term health without ever making you feel restricted. 3. Managing stress and practicing mindful living. Now, let's talk about something that affects all of us: stress. While some level of stress is inevitable, chronic stress is one of the biggest contributors to premature aging, heart disease, and weakened immune function. People who live to 100 aren't immune to stress, but they've developed habits that allow them to navigate life's challenges without letting stress take a lasting toll on their bodies. Consider the story of Eleanor, a 90-year-old woman from Italy. Eleanor had spent most of her working life as a high-stress executive, constantly dealing with deadlines, long hours, and high-pressure situations. After retirement, she found herself feeling just as tense, worrying about finances, family, and health. It wasn't until she started practicing mindfulness, taking morning walks, breathing deeply, and simply focusing on the present, that she noticed a change. Her sleep improved, her blood pressure stabilized, and for the first time in years, she felt a sense of peace that had been missing for decades. In the world's longest living cultures, stress management isn't an afterthought. It's built into daily life. Many centenarians practice relaxation techniques like deep breathing, meditation, or prayer. Others engage in simple calming activities, such as gardening, knitting, or even enjoying an afternoon tea with friends. These small rituals may seem insignificant, but they play a crucial role in keeping stress levels low and preserving overall health. One of the most effective ways to reduce stress is to create a daily routine that allows for moments of stillness. Whether it's setting aside time in the morning to reflect, winding down in the evening with a good book, or simply learning to let go of unnecessary worries, finding a way to reset the mind can have profound effects on longevity. Another critical factor is having a positive outlook on life. Many centenarians share a common trait: They don't dwell on negativity. Instead of focusing on what they've lost or what could go wrong, they embrace gratitude and find joy in small things. This shift in mindset isn't just good for mental health. It directly affects the body by reducing stress hormones, improving heart health, and even boosting overall resilience. If stress has been a constant presence in your life, the good news is that it's never too late to make a change. Learning how to manage stress effectively doesn't require major life adjustments. It simply means making small, intentional choices every day that allow your body and mind to rest. Whether through mindfulness, relaxation, or shifting your perspective, reducing stress may be one of the most important steps you can take toward a longer, healthier life. 4. Staying mentally active and continuously learning. One of the strongest predictors of longevity isn't just how well you take care of your body, it's how well you take care of your mind. People who live to 100 tend to stay mentally engaged, continuously learning and challenging their brains in ways that keep them sharp. It's not about formal education or solving complex equations. It's about maintaining curiosity, exploring new interests, and keeping the brain active well into old age. Just as muscles weaken when they're not used, the brain can also decline if it's not regularly stimulated. Cognitive decline is one of the biggest concerns for aging individuals. And while some memory loss is natural, studies show that people who engage in lifelong learning have significantly lower rates of dementia and cognitive impairment. Let me tell you about Harold, an 88-year-old man from England. Harold had spent most of his life working as a schoolteacher. After retiring, he found himself slipping into a routine that lacked mental stimulation. He spent his days watching television, doing housework, and repeating the same daily habits. Over time, he started noticing small lapses in memory and difficulty concentrating. Concerned about cognitive decline, Harold decided to make a change. He joined a local book club, started doing crossword puzzles each morning, and even took an online history course. Within months, he felt more engaged, more alert, and more connected to the world around him. Keeping the brain active doesn't require anything extreme. Small, consistent efforts can make a huge difference. Many centenarians swear by simple daily habits like playing chess, learning new recipes, or even engaging in deep conversations with friends. The key is to challenge the brain regularly, giving it new information to process and analyze. Just as physical exercise keeps the body strong, mental exercise keeps the brain functioning at its best. Another powerful factor in maintaining cognitive health is avoiding mental stagnation. People who fall into rigid routines, stop learning new things, or avoid engaging in stimulating conversations often experience faster cognitive decline. On the other hand, those who seek out new experiences, whether it's traveling to a new place, trying a new hobby, or even having a debate on an interesting topic, keep their minds flexible and sharp. Social engagement also plays a role in brain health. Conversations require quick thinking, memory recall, and emotional awareness, all of which strengthen cognitive function. This is why centenarians who remain socially active often experience slower mental decline than those who withdraw from interactions. Whether it's discussing current events, telling stories from the past, or simply engaging in playful banter, socializing keeps the brain working in ways that protect it from aging. The takeaway here is simple. If you want to live a long and mentally vibrant life, never stop learning. Whether it's picking up a new hobby, reading about topics that interest you, or simply having more stimulating conversations, keeping your brain engaged is one of the best things you can do for your long-term health. The mind thrives on curiosity, and the more you feed it, the stronger it remains. 5. Having a strong sense of purpose and daily routine. One of the most consistent traits found among people who live past 100 isn't a perfect diet, strict exercise routine, or even access to top-tier health care. It's a strong sense of purpose. Centenarians across the world tend to wake up each day with a clear reason for living, whether it's caring for family, contributing to their community, or simply enjoying the small pleasures of life. This sense of purpose isn't just a nice idea. It has been scientifically linked to lower stress levels, better heart health, and even a longer lifespan. When people have a sense of purpose, their bodies respond differently to stress. They produce lower levels of cortisol, experience better sleep, and tend to have healthier habits overall. Let me introduce you to Clara, a 92-year-old woman from Sardinia, Italy. Clara had spent most of her life working as a seamstress, but after retiring, she found herself struggling with a loss of identity. Without work to keep her busy, she felt restless, uncertain, and even a little lost. But when her granddaughter asked her to teach her how to sew, something changed. Clara started spending her mornings in her sewing room, sharing her skills and passing on her knowledge. The shift was immediate. Her energy returned, her mood improved, and even her doctor noticed positive changes in her overall health. In the world's longest living cultures, this concept is often built into daily life. In Okinawa, Japan, it's known as ikigai, a deep sense of purpose that keeps people engaged well into old age. In Sardinia, many centenarians continue working in their gardens, taking care of animals, or helping younger generations in their families. The key isn't the specific task. It's the feeling that what they do still matters. Alongside purpose, another factor that plays a crucial role in longevity is having a daily routine. Many centenarians follow structured, consistent routines that bring a sense of stability to their lives. Whether it's waking up at the same time each day, engaging in light activity, or maintaining simple daily rituals, these habits help regulate the body's natural rhythms. Having a predictable routine can lower stress, improve sleep, and even enhance digestion, all of which contribute to a longer, healthier life. Another overlooked aspect of routine is the importance of movement throughout the day. While many people assume that longevity requires intense exercise, centenarians rarely go to gyms or push their bodies to exhaustion. Instead, they incorporate movement naturally, walking to visit friends, tending gardens, or simply staying active through daily responsibilities. This approach keeps the body strong without the strain of high-impact workouts, proving that longevity isn't about how much you exercise, but how consistently you move. The bottom line is this: if you want to live a long, fulfilling life, find something that gives you purpose. Whether it's a hobby, a role in your family, or simply a reason to get up and start the day, that sense of meaning can add years to your life. Combine that with a steady, manageable routine, and you create a foundation for both physical and emotional well-being. Living to 100 isn't just about avoiding illness. It's about waking up each day with a reason to keep going. Final thoughts. As we wrap up this video, take a moment to reflect on these 5 powerful habits that can help you live a longer, healthier life. It's not about spending hours in the gym or following extreme diets. It's about making small, sustainable choices that add up over time. The world's longest living people don't just focus on physical health. They cultivate strong relationships, manage stress, keep their minds sharp, and wake up each day with a sense of purpose. What stood out to you the most? Which of these habits do you already practice? And which one do you think you could work on? The key to longevity isn't about perfection. It's about consistency. Simple changes like staying connected with loved ones, eating mindfully, keeping your brain active, and maintaining a strong sense of purpose can have a profound impact on both your lifespan and your quality of life. We'd love to hear from you. Leave a comment below and share one thing you learned today and how you plan to use it in your life. Your thoughts are important to us, so don't hesitate to share them. Reading your comments gives us great motivation and encouragement. If you enjoyed this video and found it helpful, please like, subscribe, and share. Your support helps us continue creating good content to inform and inspire you. Thanks for watching, and we look forward to seeing you in the next video.